The Big Light presents
Welcome to the Self-Guided Travel Podcast, where we take you on some of the world's most spectacular self-guided hiking and biking vacations. I'm Arlette Godges, and in this season, I'm traveling on a max adventure along Scotland's famous 96-mile-long distance trail, the West Highland Way. Walk with me over the hills, through the woodlands, and alongside lochs. Listen to the sounds of Scotland and hear the stories of the people I meet. This is the best way to explore the world. This is Active Travel, led by you. In this episode, you'll hear my first 2 days of this adventure, starting in Milngavie, just outside of Glasgow, and ending up in Rowardennan. Let's go and let's do it. Day one of the West Highland Way, and I'm excited for this adventure. I'm doing this all by myself. It's a little bit rainy, but that's why it's so green. We'll be stopping at some distilleries. I'm going to talk to some rangers. I'm going to meet some people in different restaurants along the way. I'm staying in some authentic Scottish inns, and it should be a lot of fun. So I'm very excited about it. The highlight of this trip is, or one of the highlights I should say, is that I'm not lugging a whole bunch of luggage around or a really big backpack with all of my stuff. I am literally only carrying water, a snack, a rain jacket, and maybe an extra layer, and that's it. My stuff gets picked up every morning, and then it gets brought to the destination where I stay at night. Hi there.
Hello.
I'm Arlette.
My name's Steve.
Shirley,
Hi. And
Hi.
you guys are from where?
New Mexico, Albuquerque.
All right, very nice. So we're kind of neighbors. I'm from California. What are you loving so much?
The weather.
So
Yeah.
far? Yeah,
It's been 100 degrees in Albuquerque for 2 months straight, so this is wonderful.
nice and cool and
Yeah.
a little rain.
Yeah.
So did you just start today?
Yeah, this is our first day. We just spent a
Okay.
day in Glasgow enjoying some sights and some good food.
How long are you hiking for?
Maybe 10 days
Yeah,
total?
about 9 days
9
with
days?
1 day off to go over to Oban.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's super nice to meet you guys.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm looking across another field filled with sheep, and I spot the Glengoyne Distillery far away, and that's where we're headed next. So we just turned a corner up the road from the distillery, and there is this secret waterfall all hidden away by lots of lush green forestry.
Hello, welcome, Arlette. I see you have spotted our waterfall. I'm Gordon Dallas. I'm the Whisky Experiential Ambassador for not only Glengoyne but for Ian MacLeod Distillers that own this fine distillery. And you've come to the very wonderful, our ground zero. Without that waterfall, there would be no distillery. So we need lots and lots of water. Approximately 100 litres for one bottle. And we make just about 1 million litres, so we go through about 100 million litres of water a year at Glengoyne.
It's a good thing it rains a lot here.
On cue, come on into the Glen of the Goyne, which means Valley of the Wild Geese. A couple of 100 years ago, the big bushes and trees and you could not see. This was a glen where illicit distillation occurred and where the smuggling of it to Glasgow happened all the time before legalisation in 1833.
So we've got the waterfall, and obviously water goes into whiskey, but what else goes in it?
Well, not much. It's quite a simple drink. Water, barley and yeast. That's the three ingredients to make Scotch whisky. That's all you're legally allowed to use.
So tell me about the difference of single malt and a blended whiskey.
Single malt is whisky made in one distillery, one single distillery, made from malted barley. Now a blend is a whisky with that malt whisky in it, but there's another whisky in it using other grains. And still to this day, 90% of the world that drink whisky, drink Scotch, are drinking blends.
So the people that are really into single malts, they know their stuff. And they know the difference between a 5 and a 10 and a 15 and a 40-year-old.
But that's changing. People are going for flavour now more than age.
I also read that you're the slowest distillery in Scotland.
That's right.
Tell me about that.
We run our stills slower than anyone else. So we have a lighter, sweeter, fruitier flavour of spirit at Glengoyne. And every distillery in Scotland has their own house style, depending on how they run the stills and whether the barley has been smoked or not smoked. Ours is not smoked, so we've got a fruity flavour. There's roughly about 148 distilleries in Scotland. Sadly, we're the only one on the West Highland Way until you get to the ends. And they're all slightly different.
Well, I think we should try some. And then I think I need to stock up on some if I'm not going to get any for the next 7 days.
I always think for an audio programme or a podcast, the noise of a cork
There you go. Sounds
coming out
lovely.
of a bottle is wonderful.
I just had my first taste of this 10-year-old Glengoyne single malt. And being a bit more of a wine connoisseur, I'm going to try, and you can tell me, Gordon, if I'm doing well. It's quite light. It's quite fruity, kind of appley. It's not harsh at all. It's actually quite delicious. I might be having a refill on this.
Yeah, yes. 40% ABV, 80 proof as well. So we've added a little bit of water to it, and it's a lovely.
Well, maybe I
entry
won't be having a refill. So, Gordon, thank you so much. It is lovely meeting you, and thank you for taking your time with us and explaining all this wonderful history. It's absolutely a pleasure.
It's been my pleasure.
Thank you. Just under 6 miles between Glengoyne and Drymen, which is actually spelled Dryman. It's a gentle walk for the final leg of the day, made especially easy after that delicious dram from Gordon at the Glengoyne Distillery. So that was quite fun. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day all in all. I checked into my little inn, which is quite cute and charming, and has everything I would need: a comfy bed, very nice crisp white sheets, and a warm shower, which I needed. I'm gonna look forward to getting some nice sleep and get ready for the day tomorrow. It's still drizzling outside, so I'm hoping the weather might, shift just a tad bit in my favor. All right, see you tomorrow. Feeling refreshed and ready for the next leg of my trip, I'll be heading from Drymen all the way to Rowardennan. It'll be a day of lochside walking, but it's really just one lake. It's an enormous lake. I'll be stopping in Balmaha, a little town on the southeast corner of Loch Lomond. I'm going to put on my boots and I'm going to get going. So, of course, it just started drizzling with rain as we are about to hit the trail again. But it's lovely. It's actually nice and warm, and just a little drizzle to go watch the sheep again. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, got up to the top of this hill. Oh, wow. It's really incredible. And I can see some lake over there, but then on the other side, when I look down, I can see Loch Lomond in front of me. It reminds me of Lake Tahoe in a way because it's so enormous. It's not round like Lake Tahoe. It's more kind of skinny and really, really long. Apparently, it's super deep as well. And it's got these islands that are straight ahead of me. I learned that this is really the divide of the lower lands and the highlands of Scotland. So I'm literally on the divide of that. Absolutely amazing. So I'm going to walk down and I will end up in Balmaha, and then I'm about halfway to my destination. I read a little into the island of Inch-Conican, meaning island of Cahoon, since the clan owned the island right back as far as the 14th century. It was inherited by Fiona Bride Gore, who became the Countess of Arran when she married in 1937. She loved the island and had a timber holiday house, boathouse, and pier constructed on it. Among other quirky, funny, goofy hobbies like speedboat racing, the Countess had a passion for rearing non-native animals at her home in England. It's thought she introduced wallabies to the island after the Second World War, where they seem to have lived quite happily ever since. It's a nice downhill walk from the top of Conic Hill into the town of Balmaha, where I'm going to meet up with some of the team of the West Highland Way. I'm here with Jane McGeary of the West Highland Way. So I'm here from the United States, and I know a lot of people are really excited about coming to Scotland and doing this hike. And it seems like it's gotten more and more popular over time. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure, yes. It certainly has increased in popularity over the years, with people coming from all over the world. It's actually part of the International Appalachian Trail, which follows on from the Appalachian Way in the States. And it is one of the most popular trails, certainly in the UK and possibly in the world, probably top 10. We do have footfall counters at various points along the way. So we think that over 45,000 complete the whole trail each year, and probably at least the same again walk certain stretches of it. But that does mean a lot of feet on the trail, which can sort of erode the path surface. There are some important areas of biodiversity around and sites of special scientific interest. So that's one reason why it's really important to actually stick to the path when you're walking. If the path isn't clear, then people tend to go around it, and that's where it can start to impact on a wider area. We've been very grateful for Max Adventure's support. There's a lot of work goes into maintaining the trail, digging drainage ditches, clearing fallen trees, replacing bridges, and even just redoing the path surface in some places. So that involves a lot of specialist skills from stoneworkers and flying in stone by helicopter. So yeah, it involves a lot of hard work from a lot of people. Max Adventure have also been great because some of their team have come out and volunteered and actually helped. So yeah, they really get involved, which is a great support.
I've got 6 more days to go, and you obviously know this route really, really well. So what are some specific things that I should be looking forward to, and what are your favorite parts of the hike?
So where we are just now is the Highland boundary fault. That's where the highlands and the lowlands sort of separated, and you get a great view over Loch Lomond and over some of the islands. You can look out for wildlife. There are quite a lot of red squirrels around. You may see deer. There's all sorts of different flowers and plants and trees and fungi. Each day the landscape changes, so along the side of Loch Lomond it can be a bit challenging, but you get some lovely little beaches along by the side of the loch, and to experience some of the Atlantic rainforest as well. There are some wild goats that you might come across at the northern end of Loch Lomond, and I think that connection you get with nature and the landscape is something really special. It's a good thing for people's well-being and for then looking after the environment as well. So I think it's a great challenge, a great experience for both physical and mental health, and yeah, real memories of a lifetime from it.
So Jane, I've heard about this West Highland Way passport.
It's a great fun way to keep track of your journey. You can get it stamped in various places en route, and it also helps to support the trail at the same time.
Well, thank you so much.
Have a fantastic walk.
So it's rather rainy at the moment, and it's coming down pretty darn hard. And the next stop is the hotel and drying off. So the last stretch was interesting. The last 4.5, 5 miles were all up and down and up and down through this really enchanted, mothy forest with these really fun, like bright red mushrooms that were just straight out of a fairy tale that were kind of all around. It kind of brought me back to my childhood. And these trees that had fallen over that kind of looked like out of a movie, and you could just, see some night coming around the corners. If you thought of it differently, it could be spooky also, but I felt it was enchanted, and I really loved it. So I'm all checked in now, and took a shower. If I had to sum up today, it was amazing. The views were incredible. The variety of terrain was just crazy for such a short distance. So looking forward to day 3, and I will tell you all about that tomorrow. Tomorrow in episode 2, I'll be heading deep into the Highlands. I'll be trying forest bathing in the luscious Craigroyston woods, searching for the outlaw Rob Roy's cave, and wrapping up the day at one of the most haunted inns in Scotland. Thanks for joining me on my Mac's adventure along the West Highland Way. You've been listening to the self-guided travel podcast with me, Arlette Godges. Mac's Adventure has hundreds of hiking and biking trips worldwide. To find out more, head to the website at macsadventure.com. That's MACS adventure.com. If you enjoyed listening, please rate, review, and subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. And even better, share it with your friends. We love hearing what you've got to say, so get in touch via the Mac's Adventure socials to tell us about a trip you'd like to do or you'd love to hear about next. We're all ears.
From the Big Light Studio.